Hello, and thanks for joining me here on KXAN Plus. I am your host, Esmeralda Zamora. Today we have our Space segment where we take a look at some of the biggest space news throughout this week with our KXAN space expert, Eric Henrikson. Eric, thanks for joining me. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I was going to say what up. I don't know why. That was the energy I'm feeling. I'm feeling what up energy
What
today.
up, space?
What up, space?
Space
is
is
what's
up.
up. Also down, also all around us at all times. We can't escape it. It's everywhere. It's space.
It's everywhere all at once.
Everywhere all at once.
Well, we have a lot of news pretty much coming from the space industry, but what is the first topic we're going to cover?
Let's talk about SpaceX. Do you want to talk about SpaceX?
SpaceX.
SpaceX launched their Starship rocket yesterday. It had a successful launch. Here's video of that launch. It goes up. It's really big, and it actually doesn't explode this time. This is the 11th launch of the Starship spaceship by SpaceX. This is the rocket that's going to take us to the moon and Mars, hopefully in the future.
Wow.
According that's the plan from NASA and SpaceX. Again, it's the 11th launch.
This is in South Texas, right?
This is in South Texas, Boca Chica, which is now called, I always forget.
It's called Starbase, yeah.
I still call it Boca Chica because I've reported on this for years with Boca Chica in mind. What was cool is they actually had like fake satellites on board that they released while it was in flight, and then it eventually landed. Whoa, that's new. When did you get that?
I got a new layout. Do you like it?
I'm gonna I'll go scoot this over here. Excuse me. But so it launched fake satellites through space, and then it touched down in the Indian Ocean. And it was lost to the sea. So they just kind of fell into the Indian Ocean. The eventual goal is very similar to their other rockets, where it will land on something, so we don't lose.
So we don't lose the rocket.
Yeah, they can reuse it. They've done that SpaceX has done that very successfully with their other rockets. So that's the eventual goal. Again, this is the 11th test of this.
We also have video of their landing, which is what you're talking about.
Show the landing. This is kind of cool. That's up in flight. I think I love these in-flight videos.
Yeah.
I like that they slapped a GoPro on the side.
That's cool.
It's probably not a GoPro, but you know what I mean, like some tiny camera on the side of the rocket as it's going
straight to the water.
Oh look, it's gonna land in the. No, it's not gonna land. It's just gonna disappear in the ocean. I like it. Look how much that water just goes vaporizes, and it's gone, lost to the tides, to Lord Neptune himself.
Where do you think it landed? Like what part of the ocean?
The Indian Ocean specifically. Where in the Indian Ocean?
Who knows?
Somewhere. The Indian Ocean's huge. Honestly, the Indian Ocean is a blind spot in my knowledge of geography.
Me too.
Don't know a ton about the Indian Ocean.
Me too.
Who would spend time talking about something I don't know a lot about?
Is the Dead Sea in the Indian Ocean?
No, the Dead Sea is connecting the Mediterranean to the Indian, I believe.
So near.
If there's anyone on Facebook right now who knows the answer to that,
does anybody know
let
that
me know.
answer?
I can also stop the show, look at my phone real quick and find out. Yeah, that's one of those things I'm not really sure. The Dead Sea, I do know. This is completely unrelated to space. The Dead Sea, I do know, is one of those that the salt content is so high that you can float super easy.
Wow.
And so that's my knowledge of the Dead Sea.
And why specifically do these rockets land in the Indian Ocean?
Any ocean is good. The Indian Ocean just seemed to be that was where its course takes it. A lot of them are in the Pacific. A lot of times we do Pacific. Sometimes Atlantic. Pacific's really big, like really, really big. I think it's like 1.5 times the Atlantic Ocean in size.
Wow.
It's much larger. So it's you aim for the ocean so you don't hit land.
But what happens with the rocket once it hits the ocean? Who goes to pick it up?
Well,
does it sink?
The good ones, they land on a ship and they bring it back. That ship is a fun name. I forget what it's called.
The good ones?
The good ones. The ones that can land themselves. This one and others, they sink.
They sink?
Yeah, they sink.
Well, I guess they're doing that artificial reef thing. Maybe they'll turn into a reef. Hopefully. Hopefully.
The debris will go somewhere. It'll go deep. I mean, I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying it's a thing. Yeah. It will sink. Hopefully most of it's like fuel and stuff have burned up. I assume it has because they use it all in the mission. But this one, I like this part. Elon Musk said he went outside for the first time to watch the launch of the rocket.
For the first time?
He always wanted to watch them from the control room.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the first time he's seen it from up close, like outside the control room, and he called it more visceral. The 11th flight, 8 mock Starlink satellites were released during the flight. It did practice some space maneuvers this time, and it simulated the control landing before landing in the water and splashing down.
Oh, this is one that exploded.
Oh yeah,
right?
I did bring video of. I did bring you video of them exploding, by the way.
So although
because
this one didn't explode,
they explode a lot. This is the 11th one, and I think there's only been one other one that's done really well. So 9 out of 11 have exploded.
Wow.
Some on the launch pad. Oh, I love this one. This is my favorite one. I loved how this one streaked down over the ocean. That was like my favorite video of that collapsing.
And that's what happens when they explode.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're big. Y'all, these are big rockets. These are rockets designed to get us across the solar system really fast. They're huge rockets.
Yeah.
But
one day.
But this
we'll
this is the steps we got to take. And there's no failure when it comes to rockets exploding without any people on board. The only time there's really failure in space travel is when people are injured. Stuff like this is a success. But the other ones were not failures.
NASA praised this specific launch. Why did they praise this?
Oh, it made it. It went halfway around the world. It orbited, performed well.
All in one day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. You can go, oh, goodness. I want to say it's 20 times. If you circle the Earth, like the International Space Station circles the Earth 20 times a day. I think it's 20 times.
When are we going to be able to buy these rockets for ourselves? I need this fast travel.
I don't think we will ever have the money to buy one of these billion-dollar rockets ourselves.
We can only wish.
I mean, you can take I would rather take a trip on like Blue Origin or something.
Yeah.
If that was the case. Actually, I'd rather just go to the moon with NASA.
I'd rather pull a Katy Perry and just go up to take a picture and come down.
I don't want to do that. That's the thing. I think about that. I'm like, I kind of would like to, but also I'm like, no. I'd rather go sit on the International Space Station for 3 or 4 months.
Well, it's going to be gone pretty soon, so you're running out of time.
Gateway's going to be built in the next 20, 30 years here. So we'll see what happens. I'm really optimistic, but Starship success is a good success. We're just showing videos of them exploding over and over again.
I need to take that video down.
It's pretty cool.
It is.
To blow up, and luckily they blow up, but no one's injured. It's a waste of money.
No one's in them.
No one's in them. No one gets hurt. But it is good for you learn through failure, right? So those failures have led to this success. And eventually they'll get this one where it can land on a ship out at sea and we don't waste the rocket, which will save us money in the long term. But until then, pretty cool.
Pretty cool to watch them explode. Well, we are going to be talking about more interstellar travel and exploring that happened here locally in Austin. Tell me about that.
So this week, the Interstellar Symposium is occurring at UT Austin. This is the 9th Interstellar Symposium. And this is put on by the Interstellar Research Group. The objective is to kind of bring in a wide assortment of people together to learn about what it would take to actually travel beyond our solar system. We're talking about past Pluto, way out there to Alpha Centauri, which is our nearest star.
Some other solar system.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so this group is trying to figure out how to do that. The advantage, what they're doing is because we're trying to make it this, how do we get to these distant planets, is how could that objective help us here on Earth.
And you were there at the...
Yes, I only got to stay for a little bit. I got too nerdy, but I had a lot of stuff to do yesterday. So I got to watch one of the coolest lectures I saw. The keynote address was from the director of DARPA. DARPA, I always forget what the acronym means.
DARPA.
But DARPA is basically like the military's research arm. And they figure out all these cool technologies. In fact, I talked to a former intelligence agent yesterday who used a lot of the equipment DARPA used for spy satellites.
Ooh,
but
that's
they do other
cool.
cool stuff. And one of the things they were talking about was our bodies are a limiting factor to gain us deep into space. So one thing they were talking about was instead of sending a human into space, copying the human mind onto a computer, then sending that into deep space with lasers.
That sounds scary to me.
Sounds scary, but pretty cool. Using so they're looking at these big ideas, but what could that big idea have an impact here on Earth? And I got to speak with the president of the Interstellar Research Group, Joe Meany, and let's show this interview right now.
Why do you think it's important to bring together so many different types of people, so many different groups together for this huge, ambitious goal?
Well, the challenges that face space travel, if you think even in the near term, are massively interdisciplinary. And so even keeping the ISS orbiting around the Earth, yes, that's partially an engineering challenge, but it's a life sciences challenge because people are aboard that spacecraft. And in keeping the ISS clean and keeping it operational, that requires biologists, that requires medical experts, that requires psychologists. And so we're taking this groundwork that's already been laid by the space agencies of Earth, and in understanding that, orbit is hard, going way beyond Earth is going to be even harder. And so we need as many people as possible thinking from as many different vantage points to answer the hard questions that'll actually get us there. And then we need people from the humanities, the social sciences, and the arts to be able to tell the stories and inspire people to get them on board, because we're not going to build a community of support to enable a mission if we can't tell the story of why this is important.
For getting the public involved, what sort of challenges do you face getting public interest in doing something that, for a lot of people, I talk to a lot of people who going outside their neighborhood is a challenge, but to go off planet and beyond, how do you get those kind of people, bring them in?
Well, I would say that there's no pithy answer, right? You're absolutely right in that the people that are focused hyper-local will always have a level of place a level of importance on their local action over a longer-term development. And we're not trying to disrupt that, right? But what our strength is in building the knowledge for interstellar missions is we want to turn that around and apply that to benefit Earth. So the theme of this conference is distant worlds, neighboring opportunities. And so the whole purpose of the talks that are being given here this week are going to center on, yes, what is it that we're doing to think about the development of future technologies, but how do we actually apply that benefit of people in the near term and improve their communities.
Improve their communities.
Yeah.
That's the goal behind this interstellar exploration, interstellar travel and exploration, right?
Right. So in the likelihood of, in our lifetimes, you or I lifetimes, going to beyond Pluto is very low, right? We're not even on Mars yet, and we keep taking our time. I'm not bitter about that at all. I was promised that, flying cars and jetpacks.
I know.
So far, all I've gotten was flying cars, and those are still pretty rare.
And I haven't seen those yet.
I have, and I've flown them.
I've seen self-driving cars.
I have taken control of a flying car before. I'll show you the video. It's on my TikTok if anyone's interested.
I need to see that.
But that's the only thing I've gotten in my lifetime. So the likelihood of us traveling, beyond Pluto in our lifetimes is very, very low.
Yeah.
But the technology we build to do that eventual task and the long-term planning towards that eventual task will benefit us certainly here on Earth in a myriad of ways. Things like laser guidance and stuff that we would need for those things. Food, how do we keep food safe? How do we keep food ready for those long journeys? Well, that is technology that will be very valuable for people who own grocery stores and people in your own home today here on Earth.
Or people who want to build, create their own farms and grow their own produce.
So it's like the technology we develop on this path to leaving our solar system, the whole idea, Joe told me, was that it will benefit us here on Earth. And that's something that's hard to comprehend, but it does require the idea of dreaming and looking for a big picture.
And looking outside the box.
Right, looking outside the box. And one of the ways we do that is we have people like this group, the Interstellar Research Group, who are looking outside the box so that we here on Earth can then experience the greatness of that. That's the human race is made up of people who, some people who are like I mentioned, who are like, I'm fine with where I'm at.
Or I don't want to even get out of my neighborhood.
I don't want to leave my neighborhood. I know I have family members who, they are very happy with where they are, and they would not want to leave. They don't want to leave the state. They don't want to leave the state. They don't want to leave the state. They definitely don't want to leave the planet. Mm-hmm. And when I mention oh yeah, I'd love to go to the moon or Mars, they look at me just like,
no, thank you. Don't take me with you.
Don't take me with you. No, thank you. Yeah. But that's okay, because the push to do those things beyond what's our normal day-to-day allows the people who don't want to do those things to experience the benefits of that. I always go back to the power of the iPhone. The lunar lander, there's more power in this than there was in the entire lunar lander that went to the moon.
And that's crazy. It fits in your pocket.
In your pocket.
Yeah.
So, but the development of that technology to get that lunar lander led to the phone. So it's all connected. All the dots are connected. I also spoke to author Les Johnson. He's a former head up in NASA and an author, science fiction author, and a physicist. He uses the lessons he learned working at NASA as a physicist to write books. And he was talking to me about his lecture last night was focused very much on, what will it take to actually leave our solar system? And I asked him about that. Here's that conversation.
You're speaking about the challenges, the actual hard challenges to traveling interstellar travel. Kind of give me an overview of what are those challenges? What are we looking at when we talk about that?
Well, science fiction often makes interstellar travel look easy. Get in the ship, hit the warp drive, you're at Alpha Centauri, right? It's really going to be a lot harder than that if we want to go according to what we know about the laws of physics. The biggest challenge, first and foremost, are the incredible distances. Just real quick, if you take the entire size of the solar system and shrink it down to 1 foot, then from the heel to toe is the distance from the Earth to the sun. And on that scale, with every foot being that 93 million miles, the nearest star is over 50 miles away. So you're a good distance from here to the next largest Texas city before you get to the next star. So 5,280 feet times 93 million miles, that's the distance, that's the biggest challenge.
Biologically, are our bodies suited for that kind of distance?
Well, it depends on trip time, and that's the challenge for the propulsion system. So right now, no. Among the fastest spacecraft, they're not the fastest, are the Voyager probes, launched in 1977. And if they were pointed in the right direction, they'd get to Alpha Centauri in 70,000 years. So that's not going to happen. We need breakthroughs in propulsion, and then when we get fast enough, then we can think about sending people. But I think first and foremost, we'll send robots, we'll send spacecraft.
Why do you think it's important to bring all the scientists and authors in this group together today?
Well, to go to the stars is going to be more than scientists and engineers. We're going to have the culture. So we have science fiction writers, we have economists, philosophers, artists, musicians. This group is about building consensus that we need to start thinking now to plan for that future. And I'm of the believer that if you don't start planning for the future today, then that future you want may not happen. And this is something that'll happen beyond the lifetimes of everybody that's involved here, but we care about that future, and we believe that we humans should eventually go to the stars.
I really liked his interview.
Yeah, I liked him a lot when we talked. I think it was just, everyone there was in such great spirits. I hate when I get to go to these really cool things, and because of this job is like get in there, tell the story, get out.
Get in and get out.
And
yeah.
I think the story we put on KXAN, it's on KXAN.com right now. We get to dive into some of the different aspects. I really focused on the artist part of that. But yeah, he was just a super nice guy, and you meet some super nice people at these conventions, and they're just so happy.
It's interesting
to be talking about cool things.
Yeah, it's interesting how he said that all those other people are also involved in this discussion. Why
and us too. You and
Yeah.
I, we're part of that discussion right now about, and then having those discussions, inspires other people and eventually pushes the things where we need them to go.
Yeah. I liked the second question that you asked him when you said, like, are our bodies even capable of doing this?
Yeah, that's one thing. And he talked a little bit about, the problem with propulsion. Another thing I was listening to one of the talks yesterday morning was that, like, our human brains would have a hard time comprehending that long in isolation. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you, but, like, one of the reasons when we had to go work from home for that period of time, you were in what, high school?
No, I was in my first year of my first job.
So, okay. So you're, my gray hair is coming in. When we had to do work from home for that bit, I started to go a little stir crazy. I always thought I was someone who's like, I like to be by myself. I'm a very social person, but I like to be by myself. I like to decompress. I'm like a battery that I use my social energy, and then I get home and I'm like, I don't want to.
You gotta charge yourself.
Gotta recharge.
Yeah.
I was going stir crazy. I couldn't do it. I needed someone to talk to. I needed to. I'm very much like a social butterfly. I work my way around the room. Excuse me. While I have that, so I think about those deep space travels. If I'm a person who doesn't mind isolation for short periods of time, I don't know how we will travel long distance
for years.
Centuries possibly.
Yeah.
So you might have to literally freeze people, or the other way is,
or you take a robot up there with you, and that's your friend.
Right, but even you'd have to have a group. But even then, I don't know about you, but when you're in a place on a vacation with your family for 2 weeks, and you're by week 2, you're like,
it makes me claustrophobic. People are in my space too much.
So there's gonna be ways we'll figure out, but the human mind's gonna have a hard time handling that type of a journey. And Einstein's relativity theory is, it's like, also when you leave Earth, the longer you're out there, it'll be a short distance. If you're going fast enough, the time will be short for you. It'll be long for people on Earth. This may be too much physics for everybody this morning.
That would make me so sad.
Yeah, so like you may have a year of your life because of the speed you're traveling, but back here maybe 60 years. And by the time you finish your year of travel, everyone you know might be gone.
It's like the Interstellar movie.
Right, because of relativity. Yeah, so it's stuff like that's always going to be a problem. So lots of challenges of traveling deep space, but again, they could inspire us here on Earth to make adjustments. The dreams push us towards the future.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of training too for these individuals that
Oh
go
yeah,
up there.
and we'll have to find the right individuals. Speaking of dreams, you want to talk about South Australia?
Yeah, let's do it. I have that video.
So South Australia, there's 2 observatories located, and I'm going to try to pronounce them. One is called Woomera and one's called Andamuka. And one's a privately owned observatory. It's like by a couple. The Woomera Observatory is run by Rebecca Taylor and Richard Wilkins since 2015. And it focuses on public stargazing. That's their observatory. It's just them out in the field. But they realize they're not too far away from Andamuka. So what they've decided to do is create this outback star trail connecting the 2 locations. Isn't that kind of cool? Like if you go to the outback, you can see these 2 different spots and do different stargazing. And they offer different things. So one's in a proper deep space telescope and observatory, one's in open air. And I've done a lot of stargazing over the years, and they're very different experiences. And the couple, Rebecca Taylor and Richard Wilkin, talked a little bit about this to AP. And let's showcase them what they said about this experience.
We like to call it a bit of a star trail. So between Woomera and Andamuka, you can have 2 completely different experiences of the night sky.
The deep space telescope that's down at Woomera, and ours, which is outside the DOB, without the dome, under the elements, under the full sky.
Did they say that the goal of this, wrong video, sorry. The goal of this was to promote tourism?
Yeah, promote tourism in the area. I've never been to Australia, but my understanding is there's a lot of nothing.
A lot of insects.
A lot of snakes. I'm a big anti-snake person. But a lot of distance between spots. So if you do have 2 locations that are pretty close together, it's a good opportunity to bring stargazers out to the area. Also open air and not a lot of lights.
And not a lot of light pollution.
Well, not a lot of light pollution. Good easy stargazing.
Yeah.
So that's just started. That one of the other astronomers talked about how the Australian Space Agency is relatively new, and so with them out there now, Australians can become astronauts too.
That's cool.
And so this will help inspire hopefully future generations. So I just want to highlight this. Something super small, super cool, super little quick, that there's this new opportunity if you're traveling to Australia if you're into stargazing, there's these 2 observatories that are kind of working together to help bridge the gap for Australian students.
That is so sweet.
Some neat stuff. So
Australia is a cool vacation place. So.
Have you been?
No, I want to go.
Yeah, it's on
that's
my
my bucket list.
Our Sam Stark lived there for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, and he talks
cool.
very highly of living there.
That is
Sounds
cool.
very, very cool. I would definitely want to visit there in New Zealand. Maybe do there in New Zealand and then go up to Southeast Asia, because it's all when you're traveling.
Once you're there,
16 hours, you might as well do a few things.
And it's so close,
hemisphere.
Right?
I mean, relatively close. Australia's big. I don't think about how big Australia is, but Australia's really big.
I mean, they have to have space for all those kangaroos.
Yeah. Well, yeah. A lot of kangaroos. I was going to say something sad about koalas. I'm not going to. I don't know if you remember the wildfires a few years ago, the brush fires. But we'll not go there. But and there's a lot of space and a lot of snakes and a lot of spiders and a lot of poisonous stuff. But a beautiful country.
And stars.
And a lot of good stargazing opportunities.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that event that we were talking about that you went to,
yes.
It's still going, right?
Interstellar Symposium is happening right now. Hold on, I have the ticket prices right here.
Where is it?
It is at UT Austin at the AT&T Conference Center. We have a link in our web story to the information. I believe you can still register today. Then tomorrow, I think the registration cuts off. What's today?
Today
the 14th.
is
I think the registration was still going through today with door tickets to see some of the speeches today. There's the information on our web story at KXAN.com. Ticket prices range from $175 for students, $675 for general admission. 2 more events this week that I thought were today. They're going to do their final round of speeches, but also Firefly Aerospace Rocket Ranch private tour and UT Space Labs tour are, I believe, tomorrow and Thursday.
Nice.
Thursday's the Firefly tour.
It's still happening. It's
Yes.
a great opportunity to learn, get connected with some people that are there, some experts
Or
as well.
today and tomorrow. Sorry, today's the 14th. I keep forgetting what day it is.
Yeah, it runs through the 15th.
Yeah.
At the AT&T Conference Center.
The AT&T Conference.
at
Right through
UT.
UT. They have good parking, by the way.
Why do you think UT was for this?
They actually done different locations it's not an every year thing. It's their ninth symposium, but it's not ninth annual. They said sometimes they do it like every other year. So it's been going on for, I think he said 19 years. I'm just trying to do the math. I think it was 19 years. I think it was 2011 is when they first did it. But yeah, it's no, I think it's 14 years. Yeah, they don't do every other year, and sometimes it's like sporadic. But they pick different locations. I talked to a couple people from Liberty Hill who were there yesterday who said, yeah, we would keep trying to go, and then this year it happened to be in Austin, and so we were able to go.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice that they picked Austin this year, because I feel like a lot of space news has come out of Austin.
Right. We have SpaceX, we have Firefly, we have I've done profiles on about a dozen other space companies. I was about to run through them all in my head, but those are the two big ones, right? So there's a lot of ones with like offices here, a lot of bases here. NASA's not far in Houston. Yeah.
Well, thank you for bringing me those rocket launch videos. They're so fun. And this conversation was great. For anyone who wants to read more on that event, we have it on our website, KXAN.com, on Eric's article that he published, I believe, yesterday.
Yeah, it was late yesterday.
Yeah.
So the information's still up there, though.
And it should be on the homepage, easy to find. Eric, for anyone else interested in watching videos like Space Base or other KXAN Plus originals, where can they do that?
I love your tests every week. KXAN Plus is available on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and some Samsung TVs.
Yeah, and it's free, so please download that. Thank you so much, Eric. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.